Hi guys, this is your full moon and Gemini reading. I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective of what needs to be surrendered to the divine. For this full moon, I'm going to be pulling from the Power of Surrender cards. I have laid out in front of me, aren't these beautiful on the, I love that. I have out in front of me the energies already laid out of, you know, the moon, the sun, Sagittarius. Moon is in opposition to the Sagittarius sun. So during a full moon, I'm sure you all are aware that it is when the sun is reflecting its light fully on the moon, and the moon is reflecting back to the sun. So they're in opposition, and it can feel like a lot of things are brought up to the surface because it's fully illuminated. So for the full moon, it's a great time to surrender something that no longer serves you, to release it. And as the full moon gets darker through the next 2 weeks, each day the light gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. It's taking that thing that was in the light at the power of the full moon, and it's taking it away into the dark. So that's the way that I view the full moon energy. It's like, what is this thing that no longer serves me that I need to surrender? Gemini and Sagittarius are both mutable energies. So it can feel like a very confusing full moon. You know, Gemini is your ideas, short-term thinking, who or what is around you. It rules the third house. And then Sagittarius is spiritual values, long-range thinking or traveling, what needs to be shared. And Sagittarius rules the 9th house. So these are the energies you're going to be feeling, or the back and forth of what you're going to be feeling, depending on what house Sagittarius is over for you. Or how the moon affects your personal chart. So the area of your life that it affects is going to be different for everybody. But the overall theme of the energy is going to be the same. It's just going to be different for what I'm about to tell you affects what part of your life is going to be different for everybody. You can't have fire without air. Air feeds the fire. Helps it grow stronger. Without air, the fire would be suffocated, the flame would be suffocated. So fire and air can create smoke. Things can feel unclear, or things that you feel unclear about are going to be, you're going to be aware of what those things are that you're really feeling unclear about at this time. The answers that you need are going to be coming. Because of Gemini, you could be really focusing on like communication with someone, or things that need to be talked about, or things that you feel like you need to clear the air about. And I'm feeling like really anxious now and emotional, like I don't want to talk. And my mouth is getting dry. So I'm feeling like this could be really uncomfortable for some people, depending on what area of your life this energy is falling into. But you may be having lots of thoughts about, you know, how these things really serve you in the long run, or if it really aligns with your highest purpose in life. You may be realizing at this time, it may be brought to the light that situations or people around you at this time don't fully align with the direction that you're going in your life, or you're seeing that long term, this isn't really big picture, it's not working out, and you may be emotional about talking about that or communicating that, or you may be at a time where you feel like, I'm going to talk about it now, okay, because you have this fire fueling your thoughts, and your mind is fueling the fire of, you know, what you want to create. It's a very back and forth, hot and cold. But I feel like overall, it's going to be for the best. Even if a message or something gets communicated to you, or you communicate a message to someone and it may come off cold, or it may come off like really in the intense energy of being fired up, or in your anger, or in your lower energies, that may, you know, if that happens, that's for a reason, because the divine is showing you this part of yourself that maybe you need to work on and surrender. To me, I feel like the most beautiful relationship in the whole world is the sun and moon, you know? It's like the greatest love story to me. You know, here's these two bodies that illuminate in different ways. This would be like, to me, what people, like twin flame energy. To me, this is, I guess, maybe like the roots of it, but you have the sun and the moon, and they're very much the same in the way that they illuminate. They illuminate the world, they bring light to the world, but they bring their light in very different ways, which can be very conflicting. They oppose each other. But they're working together, but never really in contact. There's, you know, they're both light. They both affect us in different ways. They both have a mission, but they're very different, but very similar. I hope that makes sense. If we were always having our emotions on the surface or illuminated, there would be no cycles, there would be no growth, there would be no change. And their purpose is to bring balance by being opposing. And I love that. So let's get into the reading. What is it that we need to surrender for full moon in Gemini? Right. Okay, we got surrender and joy, or surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. I'm getting that some of you may actually, the conversation that you want to have has to do with something where you're feeling bound or chained to like needing your freedom in an area, or maybe like you're in a relationship where you feel like you can't be your full self, and you know it's not really serving you, that you're holding back, and it's creating an energy in you where you don't feel happy or joyful. And it's really trying to get your attention to let you know that if you don't feel good about it, it's not the direction you need to move in. And you need to surrender a relationship or move towards what feels more freeing. Or you could have had a conversation where you already are, left something that you feel negative about behind, a person, situation, thing. Because you just weren't feeling the joy anymore. And you may be at that breaking point of like, you know what, this just, it feels a little heavy, like, yeah, the energy of like, somebody might literally just snap, like somebody says something and it triggers them. Our next card just jumped out. And, okay. And it's just like, all of a sudden, you know what, I can't do this, I'm done, it's over, I don't care, because, all right, so the next card that jumped out is Surrender Fear. It says, let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Okay, so maybe you have the surrender to joy is because you're just trapped in your mind of Gemini, and you just keep telling yourself a story that's not true, which is creating those negative thoughts and feelings that's keeping you from feeling the joy. And sometimes our perception, we see things kind of in a skewed way, or because we see things in a way because it actually benefits us, and so we hang on to that. And sometimes it's just asking to see things clearly so that you can see that maybe it's you, it's all in your head. Maybe you're seeing things differently. Maybe there are beautiful, wonderful moments that you can smile about during your day, but you just keep you just keep playing the negative things over and over in your head. Or you just keep telling yourself a story like, this person doesn't care about me, they don't love me. So it's asking you to surrender your fear. And then the next card that jumped out is Surrender to Prayer. It says, give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and answers and support will arrive. So you could be in a situation where you are walking away from something that doesn't bring you any joy, and you are literally terrified. But I'm feeling like you know that this is the direction you need to move in. And if it is away from a partner or a job or a situation, I feel like you do know deep down inside that this is the right thing to do because the sun is in Sagittarius, and that's your highest purpose. It's long term. Okay, so it's telling you to surrender your fear and to surrender to prayer. So you could be terrified about what you're doing, but you know that it's the right thing to do. And the universe is just telling you to lean on them, give it up to them, ask them to take it away from you, give it to the light, and ask that each day that the moon's light gets dimmer, you know, that fear that you feel in your heart or in your soul gets dimmer too. So that hopefully by new moon, this energy that we're sitting in right now will be completely healed and gone. I'm going to show you these cards because they're, the card on the bottom, Surrender Success. I'm just going to say what it says here. It says, take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Okay, so I am feeling like no matter how scary or how much in the fear you are, you do know that you are going to feel like a burden has been lifted off your shoulders, no matter what it looks like, no matter what, and maybe that's why it's talking about the story here, because you can just tell yourself all the positive things. This is for the best. I'm going to be so much happier, and just asking the divine to guide you and help you, and that all the answers will come, because I'm just saying, okay, so Surrender stress. I'm just seeing that she just feels like, oh, free, you know, that's what this is all about. She feels free. She looks like she's laid her burden down. She's standing in her power. She's let all of the tension and everything out of her body that she's feeling. And I'm feeling whatever this situation is, you are feeling, it feels heavy. And I think even no matter how scary it will be, doing this, having this conversation, making this choice, you are going to feel so much better. Excuse me. So this is surrender to joy. Surrender to fear. I'm just going to try to hold these all up because the cards on the moon side here are facing towards the two cards on the Sagittarius side for surrender to prayer and surrender stress. And I think that's beautiful because they're moving towards each other, okay? This is moving away from being stuck in your head, having the conversation, all of that. It's moving away towards the positive cards. And they're there to support each other. And they're in opposition too. So, you know, see that they're looking at each other. It's brought to the light. It's being dealt with. Their backs aren't turned on the other ones. They're very much like, yes, this is hard. This is difficult. They're facing each other. So this can be dealt with. And it's definitely going to move you more into your power. It's literally, I'm feeling like it's just asking you to take your life back into your own hands. To stop letting the opinions, thoughts, judgments, criticisms, all of that of other people affect what you know is best for you. And that could have been something that's holding you back, like this idea of like, oh my gosh, if I do this, you know, what are people going to say? What are they going to think? And this is really forcing you to look at what's best for you. Now I'm spitting, excuse me. What's best for you? And not care about anything else. You know, be the leader of your own life. I'm gonna take a card now from, it's called Heal Yourself. I'll show you. And this one I'm actually think I'm going to read from the book. Whichever card comes out, I'm going to read the whole thing. All right, I'm going to, I don't know if I want to do 1, 2, or 3, so I'm just going to let the universe tell me what to do, however many come out. Okay, 1, soulmate. Right away, I'm noticing with this that there's one person who looks more physically present and the other person looks like they're in the distance or they're faded away. It's like they're there in spirit. They're not physically there. So I am, and I love, look, like the colors are very much like Gemini and the moon's in the back. So I don't think that the numbers on the cards for 14 has anything to do like with numerology, but it jumped out at me, so I'm going to say that. And 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is about change and conflict. So it's just confirming to me that this is what's going on. There's very much a back and forth energy here. I feel like this has to do with a decision where you know that you are not with your actual, it has to do with a soulmate relationship. So to me, soulmate relationships are like people that, you know, it's like an easier connection. It's, you guys are there to support each other. So you're either feeling like you're not with someone in that energy where you are, nothing feels good pretty much is what I'm getting. And you may know who this person is you want to move towards or be with. And I'm getting that they're in your memories and your mind a lot. And now I'm getting that this is someone like from the past, like past, distant, like somebody you've thought about or dreamed about being with for a really long time. And they're just always in your mind. They're always with you. They're always in your heart and your soul. And it could just be really heavy on your heart right now. And I think that even if it's not moving towards this person, I feel like this kind of energy of just remembering or like a remembrance of what this person brings up in you, those feelings of love and I'm getting like a yearning feeling or desire, has something to do with either ending this thing to move towards something better, even if you're not moving towards this person, or it's a situation where you feel like the story you're telling yourself is that you can't be with this person, it would never work out, look at my life now. I'm feeling like some things have happened where you just, in your mind, you feel like there's no way this would ever work out. But you know that where you're at right now, excuse me, I'm still not feeling well. You know where you're at right now is not where you're supposed to be. So it's like you'd rather be alone and in your power without being put down, not having your joy, than be with someone, in a relationship with someone where you feel all those things too, but it just feels heavy. Like, at least on your own, you're in control, you're the leader of your life. You don't have to really think about what anybody else thinks or feels about a situation. You're literally doing what's best for you and knowing that the universe has your back and it's going to support you in the direction that you're going in. Let me go in here and read this and take a sip of water because mama not feeling well. Okay. Number 14, soulmate. Open your heart and invite sacred love. Your soulmate is not far from you. To connect with them, you need to open your heart. Call them in and have patience. If you are not ready to accept your soulmate, keep working on self-love. You will be drawn to your soulmate like a magnet and feel an immense sense of familiarity, like you have known them before. Your capacity to love will increase dramatically, and you will experience higher states of consciousness. No one can touch your heart in the same way that a soulmate can. It is important to note that your soulmate will not necessarily be your partner. He or she may come in a completely different form than you have imagined. This to me is talking about how, like, the story we tell ourselves. Or so you may be holding on to an idea now of a person that you think you're supposed to be with, and it's actually not that person, and it's asking you to stop telling yourself a story, open your eyes to what's really in front of you, who that person really is, okay? But they will, okay, so let me read that over. He or she may come in a completely different form than you have imagined, but they will offer you incredible wisdom, growth, and expansion. I am loving this. Okay, so when you are in the flow of what is right for you and the universe, things happen easily because the universe supports you. When you're in an energy where you feel like everything is a battle and it's hard and everything's not working and it's the universe trying to get your attention, that this is, you know, it's like warning signs. Like, you can make these choices, we have free will, but it's a way of showing you, like, caution, you know, like red tape. It's a warning. It's a way of saying, yes, you can go down this road. There's going to be lessons there for you no matter what you decide to do. But when it's right and it's in line with what you're meant to do, it flows, it's easy, things fall in your lap, it's supported because it's the universe's way of telling you, you feel good, things are going in the right way, you feel supported, you feel joyful, you feel all the good feelings. But all the negativity and feelings and things happening in your life is the universe's way of saying, hey, pay attention. You'll grow, I feel, either way, but I feel like when you're in the flow of what's right for you, things happen much quicker and at a rapid pace, because, you know, your thoughts and your feelings are connected, okay? So when you're in an energy that's good. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, so I'm just going to stop. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Be aware that we connect with our soulmates when we are ready to truly evolve and move to the next level of consciousness and life experience. We attract them into our lives when we need to open our hearts fully and learn about unconditional love. Beautiful. So funny how I was saying in the beginning, like the sun and the moon. That's the kind of love that's there to me. It's unconditional. They work well together even though they're opposing, and they know their purpose, and it's just an unconditional love. Like there would be nothing without that. Okay, so the action here is take some slow, deep breaths. I need to do this all the time. I feel like I'm never breathing properly. Connect to your heart. Imagine calling your soulmate towards you. You don't have to know what they look like. Just feel the openness in your heart and allow yourself to connect to their heart. Imagine that there is a gold cord attaching you to them with beautiful, loving energy flowing between you. Know that you are supposed. Know that you are supported and will soon meet each other in the physical reality. Keep working on opening your heart and enjoying your life. Okay, so now I'm getting, even if you're in a relationship where you don't feel like this is your person, you could be telling yourself that story in your head, but it's stealing the joy from your life. And what this is asking you to do is, even in that situation where if you're in this now, you still need to have joy and have your heart open, even if you know that this isn't where you're supposed to be, so that you can be attracting what's meant for you into your life. When you close your heart off and you're just in that negative energy all the time, you're actually shutting yourself off to what is meant for you as well. This energy to me is very like Pisces energy, because you know all the mutable energy. It's Gemini, it's Sagittarius. They have that in common. It's very back and forth. This is something I feel like you have been back and forth with for a really long time. And I feel like whoever this person is that you feel is, you know, your person, you know, your future. I'm feeling like it's someone from like a long time ago. Like you've known a really, really long time. It's not someone like recent in your life. It may be even someone who like has been in and out of your life, but for a really long time, okay? Let me see if there's anything on the other page. There's not, so this is just a one-page thing. All right, I'm going to pull one more card because, I mean, I just am feeling like, yes. All right, let's do one more card. What am I on? I'm on 27 minutes. Okay, and this will be the last card. Actually, now I'm getting to pull from a different deck. Queen of the Moon Oracle. So I'll pull a message from here and read that. Love this. My daughter wore a shirt like this to school today. Just intuitively picked that shirt today, and I love it. All right, give me one card. This is guidance through lunar and seasonal energies. Please make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. All right, here we go. What do we have for Gemini full moon? Gemini full moon. There's too many. All right, this one. Pleasure. These cards are beautiful. I'm loving these. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, so 8 and 1 is 9. 9, the 9th house, Sagittarius. I opened up to number 9, but it's not the right number 9 because it's 18. All right, so this says pleasure. Are you taking life too intensively or too seriously? The time has come to call in the pleasures of life. Seek lightheartedness at this time. Focus on what would make you happy. Schedule in activities you find pleasurable. I open myself to the pleasures of life. In our search for a better life, something happened along the way. We forgot how to feel real pleasure in what we do rather than just being diverted from the everyday. Life can be overwhelming, and our rational minds seem to need every available minute of our time to be able to cope with its demands. Pleasure has taken a back seat, or there is a pattern of it now forming destructive tendencies, such as binge drinking rather than simply having a wine or two with friends. A big part of pleasure is letting go. This does not mean surrendering or giving up. It simply means handing over all of our administration, stress, and worries for a time and immersing ourselves in something joyful. When we don't allow ourselves to experience pleasure, whether in the form of laughter, play, sensuality, or the development of skills, we remain less than whole and feel wanting. No fun actually makes us dull indeed. Over time, we are much less effective in our emotional and work lives if we do not experience regular doses of pleasure. Our ancient ancestors knew the importance of pleasure in the forming of a healthy mind, body, and spirit. There were gods and goddesses dedicated to happiness and the pleasures of life, such as the Egyptian goddess Hathor. Don't know if I'm saying that right. The temples of Hathor were joyful places full of songs and beauty. There were even small temples placed in her honor outside other major deities' temples so that people could be in a happy and contented mental mood before entering to worship. The Egyptians clearly believed that having a positive or relaxed state of mind assisted in having a positive spiritual connection. And then it says here, it has a little note for a companion stone or a metal turquoise. So turquoise can help you with this. I got a little, felt like a little bit like I was getting emotional at one point in there. I hope that you guys surrender whatever this issue is for you during this full moon. I'm hopefully going to get this up right away. I just saw 3-3-11-11 when I said that. So I'm going to hop off and I'm going to try to get this done right away so I can get it up for you guys. Happy full moon in Gemini, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.